This is so good. Hello, what's the crack? What's the story? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're checking out some Queen Days of Our Lives Part 1. Let's go. Woo! I'm excited. 11 albums. What? Wow. Another one bites the dust. Woo! Let's go!
To be massively successful. I mean, and I think almost everybody in this business does.
Woo!
Certainly by the beginning of the 80s, the world domination that they craved for was definitely there.
Wow.
The hardest thing is to actually maintain the level of success that you achieve. Because I think when you go all the way up, the only place is to come down.
True. I like that.
You have no idea where you can get to. It's like the sky is the limit.
Woo.
We didn't want just America. We wanted the whole world, you know.
South America reared its head, and we heard rumors that we were the biggest thing ever in Argentina
Wow.
and Brazil, and they started to ask us to go down there, and they were saying, you know, you can play football stadiums down there, and we went, oh, you're joking.
In those days, under the dictatorship in Argentina, we were negotiating with the army general, and he said to me, how can I possibly allow 50,000 young people into a stadium when I can't control them? What happens if somebody suddenly shouts out Viva Peron in the middle of a Queen concert, and I have a riot on my hands? And I tried to explain to him that rather like gladiatorial matches in Rome, this was panacea to the people. They'd never, ever had this before. This would be an extraordinary experience.
Again, it's remarkable that a country like Argentina, that they don't, like, their national language is not English. I think is it Portuguese or Spanish? Let me know below. But yeah, and they, for some reason, they love this English band. It's just remarkable how big they were back then. Just so good.
So we got the whole thing together, and it was God knows how many jumbo jets full of equipment.
When we arrived in Buenos Aires, as we're unloading it, you could see spent bullet cases, thinking, yeah, we really are in a very different
Bullets.
place here.
We were looking for a bodyguard for Freddie, and this particular man came in, and his opening recommendation was that he killed 212 people.
The travel arrangements were very scary with, you know,
What?
driving the wrong way along a raised motorway with outriders, with guys in big jeeps waving their big guns and getting their cars coming straight towards them to pull over.
We got caught in a traffic jam, and one of the policemen just stood up, put his head through the roof and started firing his gun in the air in order to clear the traffic.
Very hair-raising.
Alô, amigos. Dentro de alguns minutos, vocês vão viver as emoções da primeira grande internacional do ano aqui no Brasil. A apresentação do conjunto Queen. Fred, how do you feel playing and singing before 200,000 people?
I haven't done it yet.
I can remember being nervous the first night. Top tier alone took 80,000.
Wow.
And we were in this sort of dugout, which I guess the football teams would normally be in.
What?
All the windows were broken. And I remember thinking, this is, you know, it's going to take some balls to walk out there.
Wow. I'm enjoying this so much.
songs. I mean, these people don't speak English, but they can sing along all the Queen songs. So they're obviously
Wow.
very genuine fans. And they went nuts.
It also takes a certain ego and a certain drive to want to be in that spotlight and go on display. Yeah! And Freddie thrived and got better in bigger arenas.
I remember seeing him do this in Wembley. Was it for the Live Aid? Yeah. I remember that. That was so good. Check out my Live Aid reaction if you haven't checked it out. It was so good. I really enjoyed it. Let's get back to this. Just having fun. Wow.
Once we'd finished Argentina and Brazil, the band decided to go back into the studio. And they had, of course, bought the studios in Montreux here.
Where's this? What country is
The
this?
studios was in the casino by the lake in Montreux. When they first arrived, it was
That's
like
Switzerland.
the top studio in Europe.
We're in this studio in Montreux, and David Bowie lives nearby. I think we went out for a meal or some drinks or something, and then landed up back in the studio with the sort of rough intention of doing something.
We were fooling around and just sort of jamming with tracks, and suddenly we said, why don't we just see what we can do on the spur of the moment?
Then, you know, there's the pressure of His Majesty David being there, and everybody wanted to look suave and, you know, quick with ideas and stuff.
Diggy, of course, came up with this riff. Ding, 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 ding.
Bum, 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 got a lot up.
Wait,
Ding, 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 ding.
is that not Ice Ice Baby?
He kept playing that over and over.
So wait, Vanilla Ice got from this guy's. Wait, have I heard that before? Wait, is this the second time I'm listening to that song? What? I don't know what's going on. That's the Vanilla Ice song, isn't it? Ice Ice Baby. Dun 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 dun.
Over and over again.
And then we went for a pizza and he forgot it. It completely escaped his mind. We got back and I remembered it.
And of course, we're used to playing together. And now we have this other guy there who's also inputting.
David's idea to put all these clicks and claps, and then the sort of track grew.
And by that time, David was very impassioned with it, and he had a vision in his head, I think, you know. It's quite a difficult process, and somebody has to back off. And actually, I did back off, which is unusual for me.
Oh! Woo, what a song.
For the vocals, one of them would be locked out and they're not allowed to hear what the other one sang. And they just sort of sang anything off the top of their head.
Fred starts doing his bum, da-da-da, and, you know, his bits and pieces. And I see out of the corner of my eye, I see David sticking his head in, listening. Then Fred came down, David went up, and Freddie was quite impressed that he was counterpointing to what he did before. And Fred said, you know, what do you make of this? And I said, well, it's kind of easy if you stand in the doorway and listening to what you're doing. And just Fred it in, what, you know.
This is so good. Number
result is very
one.
good.
Wow.
But it was a difficult experience, I think. These people sort of pulling in different directions, in a sense.
Under Pressure, David
Dun,
Bowie.
dun, 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 dun.
and
Ice
me.
Berry.
I don't think it mixed too well.
Shame, actually. It's, I thought it was fabulous. We could have done some incredible further things, actually.
Queen are evil, degenerate,
What?
repulsive, unpleasant. I like them.
Who's this? That was weird.
Well, here we have a total change of life for all of us, really. We went back to Munich to do the next album, and really, I suppose, things started to go downhill.
Oh.
It's actually a rather grim place. It's a studio in the basement of a huge tower block, which is a hotel.
What happened?
And it's kind of depressing. A lot of people used to jump off the top of the building and kill themselves.
What?
Off that particular building. It was very well known for it. We didn't know that until we got there. So we started to go a bit nuts. By that time, we were getting very finicky about recording, and we spent months there.
Wow.
After the massive success of Another One Bites the Dust, the thinking was, we'll make an album that's slightly more dance-orientated. Not my idea.
Especially in Freddie's entourage. I won't mention any names like Paul Prenter, for instance. Lowest guitars, and the word went round that Brian was old-fashioned.
Paul Prenter had become Freddie's personal assistant.
He was a very, very bad influence upon Freddie, hence on the band, really. He very much wanted our music to sound like you just walked in a gay club. And I didn't.
Okay.
There were a lot of strains within the band that would happen with four people of that strength of character.
Everybody had their say, and the arguments were creative, and then it would become personal. Of course.
It was a sort of emotional roller coaster. I think less and less time was spent in the studio.
Get up about 3 o'clock and go and have breakfast. And then a bit of work would be done, and then you'd have dinner, and then one of the roadies would start mixing cocktails, and then other things would happen.
Like what?
I'm not saying cocaine and other drugs and loose women had anything to do with that.
Oh God. Queen. To be fair, I feel like they were the most famous band in the world at that moment. Everyone wanted them, so you can see it happening. Because this reminds me of when I was doing the reaction to the Bee Gees as well. When Barry was saying about, when he was 19 and he used to carry rings around to give to women. Because every single girl around him wants to be with him. So this makes sense for for Queen as well. So yeah, I do understand.
It turned into a rather exhausting cycle, I think, in the end.
Exhausting indeed.
I don't know if I can say this. Yeah, I could probably say this. We all kind of got ourselves into deep trouble emotionally in Munich. And
Wow.
Freddie was no exception. He got himself deep into emotional waters which he couldn't really handle and was very unhappy for some of the time. He was being sucked into places which really probably weren't good for him. And I think we all felt that. And we realised that he was kind of in some kind of danger.
I certainly saw a change in Freddie. In the club Heaven in 1983, I said to him, have you modified your behavior in light of the new disease,
Modified.
which as of yet did not have a name?
Ah.
And with the sweep of his arms in a theatrical fashion, he said, darling, my attitude is, fuck it. I'm doing everything with everybody.
If someone kept a chart of rock and roll royalty, Queen would have to be at the top. Now Queen is back on tour and perhaps up against their biggest challenge yet.
Now, most of you know that we got some new sounds out last week, and for what 12th, we're gonna do a few songs in the funk black category, whatever you call it.
Record sales are not as strong as in the past, and that's left everyone wondering.
I don't like everything that we do. I like a lot of what we do, but I don't like everything.
It depends on whatever the 4 individuals in the group, what sort of music they're into at the time and what songs they're writing.
There might be a couple of songs come out that you really don't like very much. I could name a couple.
Well, Hot Space, in Queen terms, was pretty disastrous, really.
What's that?
It didn't appeal to some of the hardcore Queen fans who would turn up at concerts with banners saying disco sucks.
I mean, it's only a bloody record. People get so excited about these things. I mean,
The band, it was pretty much on the verge of falling apart.
I think we had a couple of meetings and stuff to discuss, you know, where we still together, etc.
Oh, wow. That was 15 minutes. That didn't feel like 15 minutes at all. But yeah, I'm really enjoying that. I feel like I've learned a lot so far in that first 15 minutes. The best thing I probably take out of that is, like, you know, finding out about, you know, them going to Argentina to go play in front of us. Like 100,000 people. That's ridiculous. They're playing to people that, you know, the first language is not English. That's just mad. I can't wait to check out the next part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, whatever it is. Can't wait to check out. Thank you. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know below. Let me know below what part you enjoyed. And yeah, what other Queen stuff you want to see. And I'll see you guys very soon. Bye-bye.